Stop streaming. Hopefully I didn't stream anywhere. I probably did.
What's your
Very
character
funny.
name again?
I'm Vincent Valentine, and my sister Indy's gonna be playing her is Lucinda.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I think honestly I should just put the shout out. Yep. And start RPing. Just give me a second. I'm gonna wait until. Oh, hi. We're not starting it, but in a second.
No worries. Well, I don't have any medieval avatars. And I'm sure as hell not gonna pull out a moth avatar, because I know there are a few people that don't like moths, and I don't want to scare them.
I think the only person who is like scared of moths is Kai.
No,
Yeah, but I still
Steeple as
don't-
well doesn't like
yeah,
it.
moth avatars are
Oh,
a
Staples.
low-key band because our
Yeah.
Our mods are scared of them. Which, you know, I can think they're a coward for being afraid of insects, but I'm not gonna trigger them on purpose.
Moths are admittedly just very tiny cats, but it's all good. I don't want to upset anyone, and I'm not that upset over it.
Yeah.
Do you guys?
And Karen told me that she won't come this time.
Yeah, I know.
My avatar isn't done yet. We still need to do the texturing, but like she's looking cool. I'm excited for her to be finished.
I have another avatar, which is made for fantasy roleplay on another RP I wanted to join. But it's going to take a while to load.
Yeah, I can hear it. Just with the four of us, let me quickly, just so you can see the moth avatar, and then I will change back into a not moth. The textures are not done.
What about the fifth person that's just entered from right behind you?
Okay.
What about the fifth person right behind you?
Hi. I didn't see you there.
Hello.
Did you know
Okay,
each
I'm
other?
gonna
You
go
like,
like
know each
up
other?
and sit in the chair, and then I'm gonna put the shout out, and that's gonna be the start the RPing thingy.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a cute
Yep.
avatar.
Yes.
It's very
Yes,
cute. I
the
love
textures
the
aren't done.
things, the antennas.
Thank you.
Wait, you're coming in?
Yes.
You're coming in as Pyrrha?
The textures aren't done.
Yeah, I mean,
medieval, isn't it?
Oi, rabbit!
What else?
Come, you'll be sitting
Oh,
like
I
next to
can,
me when guests enter.
Okay.
I am able to have second
Hang on, I gotta get rid of my tail as well. Ooh.
technically, I shouldn't sit.
Yeah, you'll be standing like in the shadows, like a proper maid.
Like here, maybe.
Is there a thing to disable? No.
Oh wait, there's a Timmy. I'm gonna say hello.
Oh no!
The RP is starting.
The RP is starting. Get in the position. You saw that person hiding behind a pillar, right?
Nope.
Come on, don't be shy. I know I'm an intimidating figure, but you can approach.
Been a while since I've seen
Very-
architecture like.
Well, I'm glad you're
I mean-
impressed.
Very out of
Hello.
my social class.
Welcome. Honored guests. Yes? Do you want to say something?
Oh, nothing. No, I was. Sorry, it's been a long day.
That's understandable. Well, you might already know me, but let me introduce myself. I am Vincent Valentine, at your service. Why don't you introduce yourself so we all know who we're dealing with?
Vidora.
Viola.
Vidora.
Viola.
Vidora.
Vidora.
Yes.
Okay. Welcome.
Yeah. Just
How about you?
Lilith, I come from a family who specializes in lumber.
Oh, how charming. Oh, new guests. Hello. We're just introducing ourselves. Feel free to approach.
Greetings.
My name is Vincent. I'm the host of this tray. This is Viola, Lilith, and you.
Freerin.
Freerin. Welcome, Freerin. How about our newest guest?
Pleasure meeting you. My name is Jade.
Jade. Welcome, Jade. Oh yeah, aren't
Thanks.
you the knight that we invited?
Yes, we are.
Hmm.
Although my family particularly is a family of blacksmiths, but I took a different route.
Wow. It was very impressive showing at that tournament.
Thank you, sir. I try.
Well, don't be shy. Feel free to take any of the food that is definitely there on the table. Don't let your eyes deceive you. It's a bountiful feast, I promise you.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me, I just need to go and fix my leg armor.
Understandable. And hello there, Miss I've been
Hello.
skulking about. How rude.
Sorry, I didn't mean to skulk about. I was trying to find the restroom, and I heard a bird say that it might be in the mage's office, if I was not correct.
Indeed, that is correct. He hasn't been doing a good work, so we put a toilet in his room.
Yeah? I guess that's definition of doing a shitty job.
Indeed, I'm glad you understand. I'm Vincent. How about you?
Nice to meet you, Vincent. People just call me Chomp.
Chomp. Oh, how charming.
Ah, yeah.
And in such a charming package as well. I can see why people are charmed by you.
Ah, thank you. I can see you give quite an aura yourself.
Aw, well, don't mean to brag or anything.
Wow,
Either
with a
way.
place like this, I feel like you have bragging rights.
Well, that doesn't mean one has to brag. I like to let my position speak for itself. How about that?
Ah, very true. I like that about you.
Indeed. If there's anything else you need, feel free to send a request to the maid. I will be right
Okay.
with you. Eesh. What the heck is this?
Not far, I just came up from the galaxy. You keep the galaxy just down by the boat, so not exactly a threat. There's a lot of clouds. There's lively crowds.
We can go around and introduce each other and give their names if you guys want.
I mean, I can
Conversation.
start off if you want.
Sure,
like-
great volunteer.
Like the Lord said, Fedora, the soldier down at the garrison. I'm about 50% sure that I was invited up here just because of that last battle.
Well, good
Not the
job on your
nicest
battle
of-
then.
Yeah, it was a battle. I don't know. We kind of all merged together after a certain amount of time.
We always want to show appreciation for the guards for keeping our city safe.
Yes, never-ending stream of bandits does that.
Job security, isn't that it?
I'd say that, but considering how many of my mates get replaced, there's not much security in there.
Yeah, well, that's pretty fair.
And what about the rest of you? Sorry, I just kind of brought the mood down. What's your name?
Oh, as I said to Vincent, my name's Chomp. That's what everybody calls me. I live outside the walls and work on a farm with my family.
Mm. Nice simple living.
Yeah, it can be. As long as, you know, we don't get raided. Being outside the city's walls, we're not really that prioritized, but it's a living.
Yeah.
Did you meet my sister out there by any chance? I can't imagine why else you got invited. You must have charmed her somehow.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm horrible at names. Yeah,
Lucinda.
I've met you, Lucinda. Yeah, I met her actually while she was wandering about, and we got to talking, and we have some similarities. So, she invited me up.
Interesting. Well, welcome. I don't suppose you get to
Thanks.
Cloud District very often, so enjoy it while it
Can't
lasts.
you tell by my clothes I don't go to the Cloud District very often?
I mean no disrespect, of course. I'm aware
don't
that
expect
the
it.
realm would not work without people in your position.
Everybody's got to play their part, right?
Exactly. Tonight you get to dine with of the best that the realm has to offer, so I suppose it's not all bad.
I hope you don't mind if I bring a doggy bag home for my parents.
Oh. Well, I'm sure what's the word for it? The breach of etiquette will be forgiven for you.
I very much appreciate it, Vincent.
No.
Well, I introduced myself. I feel like we're going down the line here. I think you're next here. Red, I think.
Call me Red. You're very welcome to call me Red. I'm Lilith. I am the heiress to the local lumber company.
Ah. Aren't you guys outside the wall like me?
We're outside of the main walls, but we do a lot of business inside as well. There's a
I do a lot
high
of
chance
business
that
inside as well.
there's a high chance that some of the lumber in here came from my family's company. Though I can't confirm that because the boarding looks we have quite a bit of history to it. It may outlive me.
It has been a while since this hall was built, but it would not surprise me if the wood was sourced from a precursor of your family's business.
Pretty possible. Certainly is a lot of construction, so I would assume it will be us.
Indeed.
That would next though.
Of course so. As I've said before, my name is Jade. I am a knight. Originally, before I had my claim to fame, I suppose, in several tournaments, I was once a blacksmith. My family lives, I want to say, about 2 days on foot past the wall on a small little village called Riften. It's a family of blacksmiths.
Ah, Riften.
Beautiful place, I've heard.
Never been,
If
but
you
I've
like
heard stories.
woods and creeks.
Sounds more
It's a
like
cozy
home to
place.
me.
Trust me, I visit more often than I should.
I suppose homesickness is not such a uncommon malady for knights and such.
It takes getting used to the scenery and the people.
It is good that you visit as much as you are able to. Family is important after all.
Ain't that
That
the
we
truth?
agree on.
I think it's your turn now,
Who
dear.
is your next?
Yeah.
I'm Freerin. I'm a couple thousand years old at this point. I'm just a mage from the continent down south. I've just been traveling.
Ah. Forgive my possible racism, but are you a high elf by chance?
I am.
Okay, good. Glad to see at least I can distinguish between races still. You'd be surprised what comes through Tamriel.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the maid's turn to actually introduce themselves. I heard they're a maid, and I don't know their name.
Oh. Well, go on, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Greetings. I am Garance. I am a humble maid in service of Vincent.
Not just me, the entire family. But currently, she is in charge of making our guests comfortable here in this party.
I am trying my best.
Of course.
You're doing a good job so far.
Pleasure.
Very comfy.
Indeed, compliments to the chef. Either way, Freerin, you've traveled a lot. You must have come across many interesting sights in your time. Why don't you share some of them with us?
Okay. I mean, I haven't experienced much. I've just done a lot of travel.
You've been traveling
Mainly,
for thousands of years and no experiences?
yeah, it gets hard to remember them after a while.
Surely you have some standouts.
Come back to me in a few. Let me think.
Of course.
1,000 years. You've probably seen interesting faces for many.
I have.
Ugh, that's a lot of baggage.
It is.
Excited.
Hmm?
How did you get into the family?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you from over here.
1 second. How were you introduced to the Valentines?
I'm sorry, one more time?
How were you introduced to the Valentine?
Oh. I just kind of came across them in my journeys. And they never hurt me, so... You know, it's a mutual acquaintance.
Miss Freerin is perhaps a bit too humble. She is quite known across the realm, so since we knew she was in the area, so to speak, we decided to see if she was available to visit us and perhaps share some of her knowledge. I believe my parents have a certain magic question for you that hopefully you could assist them with after the party. You are, of course, free to stay for the time that you require.
Hold on a moment.
Something just happened. Something happened. What just happened?
Chompet accidentally dropped a glass.
I think it felt over Verota.
Why don't you clean it up?
Yes, of course. Where is it?
Next to Jade, I believe.
Yes, I had picked up the glass, but it is. You can see the ale kind of all right here. Okay, the
Are you
glasses are
alright?
being tended to.
Okay.
I'm good.
Were you staring at my tail earlier?
No, you walked behind me, and I'm not keen to having people behind me most of the time.
I think that's fair.
Yes. I think the tail would help you balance more. Did you lose your balance? That's why you...
Thank you. No, I'm a little nervous being in such a fancy place, and yet I still spilled my drink. Yeah.
Hey,
I
if it makes you
thought
feel
me-
better, I am
Mm.
just as out of place.
You
Yeah.
look comfy enough.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
because I am tired and I cannot be bothered to sit properly.
I
I
see.
suppose that is fair.
Yeah, obviously no disrespect, my lord, but
Of course,
It's
feel
been a
free
long day.
to. We want all our guests to be comfortable, first and foremost. I like to think me and my sister, who's gonna be here any moment, are. What's the word for it? More casual hosts than our parents.
Can't imagine how your parents' parties are.
Oh, it's a lot of politics, if you can believe that.
as a lord I
Yeah.
can.
I was about to say.
Yeah, well. Personally, I try to avoid them
Well,
as
Mr.
much as
Vincent.
possible.
Politics or your
all?
parents?
Politics, of course.
Fair.
I would say perhaps implying some familiar strife may be a bit too casual, even for this party.
No, that's not what I mean, my lord, of course.
Good. Of course. Everybody misspeaks sometimes. It happens.
Well, Lord Vincent, I have to say this is the first party that is at least a little lax on the formalities.
Ah, of course. I couldn't stand all the bowing and scraping.
Glad there's no bootlicking
You are
as
one of the
well.
first.
Well, I like to think I get enough of
Here.
it during the normal course of the day. But,
Oh, cheese.
well,
A specialty of your region. The chef prepared it.
yes, feel free to have it with some bread that is definitely also on the table.
Pretty close to what Mom makes.
Your mom must be very talented if her cheese comes close to this variety.
Well, my mom's. I guess she's a jack of all trades when it comes to farming. My dad plows the fields, and my mom takes care of the animals, and I just help out where I can. Mom works really hard on her meals. They're always so filling.
Indeed.
Hopefully one day I can be a good cook like her. Last one I kind of burn it. Yeah. Still working on that.
I'm sure you'll get it. Must be very
Hopefully.
important to have good meals with such a backbreaking work as farming, no?
Yeah. That's what I'm thankful Mom knows how to cook. Because if Dad was relying on me, I don't think he'd be happy working the fields.
Do you have any other family?
Not that I know of. Mom says I have like a sister or something, or maybe a bastard brother, but
Oh.
I don't see them.
No aunts or uncles either?
Sadly, they're not with me anymore. Don't mean to bring the mood down, but that's just life.
Well, suppose we both have a bit of a small family than usual. How about the rest of you? How about you, Jade? You said your family was blacksmith. Do you have any siblings, or?
Well, as you said, most of my family is blacksmiths. I do have a sister.
Oh.
I had a brother at one point, but unfortunately, he too tried to follow in my footsteps and lost his life.
I'm sorry to hear that.
That's fine. He died trying to do, I guess, what he wanted. I can't fault him for that. We all want to go out a way we want, so.
Indeed.
But on a happier note, I have 2 uncles and an aunt as well.
All blacksmith, or is there anything else?
The 2 uncles are blacksmiths, and my aunt is a tailor.
Oh, indeed. Tailored your outfit as well?
Partially. My mother actually had a hand in this, which is why it looks so over the top.
Oh, I don't think it looks over the top. I think it looks very nice.
Thank you, sir.
Well, you know, half of the job of being a knight is the presentation, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yes.
All
When I
the
first started, it was more about swordplay, and then now it's more about looking the part.
all the sword skills in the world aren't gonna put food on your table if you can't get the employer for them.
Couldn't have said it better myself, sir.
So, does anybody else have family?
My mother was a guard, my father was a guard, my sister was a guard. It's kind of just a running theme.
Didn't want to break the cycle and be something else.
No, guards are pretty cozy. Well, it used to be a pretty cozy job up until the bandits been upping their activity lately. Mother's still around. Father got killed by a bandit ambush 15 years ago, a while back.
Damn.
Sister, haven't seen her since 10 years back. She moved up north to be a guard for one of the Imperial strongholds rather than here.
Oh.
And then there's me, staying home, fixing stolen sweet rolls. You know the drill.
You guys actually have to go after that?
Yes, we have our excitement and we have our stolen sweet rolls and lollygagging.
Yes, dad stories aren't really.
Well, theft is theft. Even a minor
It is.
one. You know what they say, let people get away with small things and soon enough it's a complete anarchy.
I'll say the dungeons are very full now.
Has anyone ever escaped the dungeon?
A few, but we usually catch them before they get outside the walls.
Well, I'm asking, has anybody actually made it out? That's what I'm really asking.
I mean, there was this one guy who got out.
Really?
He managed to bloody kick down one of the more unstable walls of the cell that he was in, and then skedaddled his way out the back gate.
Oh,
Guards tried to
wow.
stop him, but unfortunately, you can't really confiscate magic. So one of them got paralyzed, and the other one got time slowed for about an hour.
Sounds like
Oh,
somebody
Lord.
quite powerful got caught in that. Time stop
Yep.
isn't very casual magic. Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm not a mage. I'm just a fighter.
Hmm.
Spear in one hand, shield in the other. You know the drill.
Well,
Oh, well, maybe you don't. I don't know.
there is something to be said for that. All of the times before the mages can get their spells in order, you can already be in there. And
True. I mean, I don't think we have any mages on the in the main garrison at least. I don't know. Obviously, there's the court mage, but
well.
there's not many of them.
What, you mean the guy that's preaching to Talos in the main area isn't part of the guards? He's just a free spirit?
He knew he is.
Is he
He's an
even a
annoyance.
mage?
He is.
I thought he was just a
Well, I could even-
priest.
I don't know. I can't really tell the difference. They all
Well, I
wear
mean,
the
he
same
seems
robes.
to be. At the very least, he seems to be able to magic up an entire bloody angry crowd.
Hmm.
Ugh.
I think that might just be his personality.
Yeah, it's a wonderful one. Ugh.
Well.
Don't get me wrong, I love Talos, but man, he makes me want to hate him.
The worst possible advertisement for the guy,
Yep.
indeed. Well, I don't really care for religion one way or another.
Mm.
Just seems some more things for people to argue about, and I got quite enough of that.
I mainly just follow the 12 gods because I've, well, seen their work in action, especially out in the field.
Indeed.
Isn't there only 9?
Depends on what you follow.
Well, if my memory serves me right, usually a priest will say, "Blessing of the 8 divines." But they remove Talos's. So technically there's 9.
Yeah, there's also the Daedric princes.
Ah, yes, very true. Forgot about the Daedric.
Yeah. You don't usually pray to them, but the ones who do, you usually get a bit more of a
Anytime you ever pray to a
advantage.
Daedric princesses, or them, is when your life is on the line, I guess.
Yeah.
A mace
Yeah,
above your head,
I mean,
about to steal your
obviously,
soul and your
within
life
the
force.
guards, we're not allowed to, really, we're not allowed to worship Daedra, for obvious reasons. But I've seen plenty of bandit decide to call upon some ancient spirit and kill fucking 15 guards. There's some big horn man decides to show up. Honestly.
Yeah, well. A lot of Daedric princes enjoy their chaos and destruction, so they're not very compatible with civilized worship.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
Especially when you're the one trying to keep that civilization.
Indeed. But they have their uses, the cultists and the Daedra both. You just have to know how to manage them.
Yeah. With all due respect, I'd rather throw a spear through the heart.
Well, suppose that's why you're not in charge of managing them. Simple job for
True,
simple
I'm just in
people.
charge of... Right. I'm simply in charge of making sure that when they're unmanaged, they disappear.
Indeed. And you do a very good job of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How about you, Freeran? Any family?
Yeah, my family are, a lineage of mages. I think I'm the only one left though. Back in my, back where I was, there was a massacre.
I'm so
I think I'm the
sorry
only
to
one
hear
left.
that.
So I just kind of venture.
Must be a very
I know what
lonely
you're talking about.
existence.
It is. And I don't know much about the what, 8 gods we're talking about?
The 8 divines.
The 8 divine.
Or the
Yeah,
9,
I have.
Or
if
the
you're
nine.
out here. It's kind of
Oh, so
regional.
that's where the saying "by the nines" is.
Yeah, indeed.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, on the way like up here, I came across some I don't know who exists in like the town, but I was passing through and I heard someone yell, "By the nines, I'm tweaking," and I don't really know what that means.
I don't know either, you know? Perhaps I should
Yeah.
spend some more
Chump, are you okay?
time
Yes, I'm quite fine.
lower down.
I see.
Personally, I subscribe to the Greeks, in terms of the gods, but I don't know if that would so far away.
The who?
Oh, the Greeks. They're like really savage. Amazing food. I suggest taking the voyage. It'll take a couple of decades.
I'm pretty sure that's like half of my remaining life.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm only human, I only live 60, 70 years.
That is valid.
Well,
I do need,
unless you're a guard, in which case, 40.
yeah.
Say again?
I do need to ask though. It looked like you two were laughing. What? It looks like you two might know what "by the nines I'm tweaking" means. What does that mean?
How do you say it? From what I've heard, talking with a few people, that's slang, I guess, for or a metaphor for. I guess you could say tweaking is God, what's the word I'm looking for
Careful
here?
there.
Yep, sorry about that.
You know when your eye twitches about
Yeah.
something being unsymmetrical? Maybe the flag's a little bit off and you still, no matter how long and how hard you've tried to make it centered, your eye starts to tweak.
Yeah.
That's what I think tweaking means, at least. But I think
Gotcha.
another... Yeah, could be another way of explaining it.
Gotcha. Well, then by the nines I'm tweaking.
Are you? Like,
Hmm?
Is there something off in here?
No, just seeing fire so close to an open space with no guard. Oh, it's a little stressy.
I mean, there's a guard right here.
Well, I mean like a guardrail or like a little chain.
well, you know, if people are stupid enough to come and step into the fire and like stand in it, that's their problem. Really.
That is very fair.
Unless they're a fire mage, in which case they probably like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually quite concerning that there's an open fire probably where your father sits, not too far from kicking distance into said fire.
I mean,
Yeah.
you'd have to like get behind him and then like. I think at that point it'd be easier to slip a dagger into his guts, and you know we do have guards for that. Yep,
Still exist.
Yeah.
palace
How
guards.
much more viable it actually is.
I'm not really complaining about the fire, it's keeping me warm. Compared to the other nights.
We do have one adventurer who somehow seemed to develop a complete fire immunity. She loves just standing in it while discussing stuff with my father. It's quite concerning.
So, I guess you could say those conversations get pretty heated.
Honestly, they're dull as rocks. That wasn't even a
I know
pun.
People like that.
That was just a fact. You know, you'd really expect somebody that accomplished would be a bit more kooky, but she's very straightforward. Just ask like, "Hey, any quests?" And then my father's like, "Yeah, go across the entire country and bring me like this head of this one bandit. That's not even under my jurisdiction." It's a whole thing.
Huh.
Yeah, maybe if that adventure comes around, they can send him after the remnants of that bandit camp.
Yeah.
Well, we do, but the bandits just seem to constantly come back, you know?
You're telling me?
Trust me, we set adventurers on the bandits all the time. I do not want to know how it would look like if we didn't.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't have a
enough.
farm.
Yeah.
That is
We
true.
probably wouldn't have a city.
That is also true. We use every resource at our disposal
have
to keep
this
our
party.
city safe.
Probably wouldn't be having this party.
Yeah. Well. But now is not the time to think of such grim tidings.
I mean, hey, we killed plenty of bandits in the battle that got me here, so hey,
Yeah.
toast to that.
We are quite safe, thanks to people such as you and our knight here, Jade.
The dead bandits.
Indeed, to dead bandits.
Bandit.
The
The dead
battle.
bandit.
Oh, look at that, bread. We do have some that is actually visible.
Well, I was going to say
5 second
nice
rule.
catch, but You almost got it.
Yeah, grip isn't like it used to be.
Really, I feel like working on a farm your grip would be quite strong.
Oh, my dad doesn't like me to work the fields, even though I beg him to let me go out there and help him. He comes
Yeah.
back so dead. He says, just help your mom. And she just has me do the light stuff. Well, she does all the heavy lifting. And I feel like I'll never learn if they just keep babying me, I guess.
Look
Why
at
don't
it from
you
their
try-
perspective.
Oh, you go ahead.
Technically, you are still their baby. Still on the nest, technically.
I'm an adult.
And
I can't get babied my whole life. How am I gonna learn?
It does seem
Yourself.
rather unwise.
Maybe you could try an
Especially if you
apprentice
are
under
the
another
only
farmhand.
child.
I don't. I could do that, but at the same time, then I can't help my parents.
Well, it seems like you're not doing that much helping, you know, against your will. They are keeping you from helping them.
Yeah, I guess I never really asked if I could just go out. Besides today, it was the only time I actually said I won't be home tonight or late. And then Dad made a joke about saying, "Oh, don't get grabbed by a dragon on the way back." And I said, "Dad, dragons don't exist."
Oh. Well, there are plenty of dangers out there other than dragons.
Yeah,
Bears.
but
Careful of bears.
yeah.
Did you
Vicious.
tell them where you were gonna go?
Okay. Told them I was gonna go into the
Into what?
And they were like, okay. Over here in Dragonsreach.
You'll have to repeat yourself. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
I told them that I was going into the city, inside the walls.
Indeed. Wow,
Oh, it's technically accurate.
Yeah.
that is correct. The best
Otherwise,
kind of accurate.
Do you mind if I try some of that cheese?
Of course, it is here for you to feast upon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do try to be more careful with the dropping stuff, dear.
Whew.
I do.
haven't
I
had something that high
apologize.
quality since I was a kid. Oof. It's very nutty. Oh.
Thank you.
May I?
Of course.
Thank you, my lord.
You don't have to keep asking. Everything here is for our dear guests tonight.
I like some good old wine.
Only the
Much better
best.
quality than the stuff down in the garrison.
So Jade, how did you decide to
Yes.
break the family tradition and become a knight?
It's a bit of an interesting story. I was with my father, and we were in the forge together, and a wandering swordsman came in, asking if he could put in an order. Me being, I want to say, I think I was 10 at the time. I was a very curious child, so after he put in his order and left, I decided that I was to follow him. I followed him to one of the local inns we had, and that night he decided to go training, and me being me, I'm not very stealthy at all. I'll put that forthright. I ended up tripping and falling, and he heard it, found me, and by sheer coincidence, he offered me a small wooden, like, dagger, and from then on was history. I was taken just by swordplay in itself. The swordsman ended up staying there, I think, 2 months more than he wanted to, just to show me bits and tricks. And eventually, I took what I learned and went official with it, I suppose.
You must have been a very charming child if you managed to hold a wandering knight in one place that long.
I was mischievous, I'll tell you that.
Have you met this knight since? I'm sure he'd be very grateful to see how much his protege has risen in the world.
It's kind of the reason why I travel so much that I do tournaments and stuff, hoping to meet him again, but he nowhere to be found.
What was his name? Perhaps I heard of him.
It's been a while, but I think, if I remember correctly, it started with a T and ended with an ER. I can't remember the full contents of his name, it's been so long.
Suppose
But
you're
I
hoping
do
that he
remember
will
that he had-
contact you.
I am, hopefully. I mean, you can't mistake the hair color. But
It is true.
I do remember that he had white hair, and he had these very, like, ghostly blue eyes.
Doesn't really ring a bell. Well,
Old Nord.
Maybe you got taught by one of the divines.
That's funny. If the divines were here, that'd be very interesting. If only I were so lucky.
I mean, mysterious stranger, jet white hair.
perhaps he
Never
was
seen
just
again.
old.
He
Does he
looked
seem old?
about in his 40s.
I mean,
Some people go grey in their 40s.
was it grey or white?
And no, it was white.
Oh, that is interesting. But it is not unheard color. The adventure I was telling you about, she also has white hair. And she is quite young.
What color are her eyes?
You know, it's strange. Sometimes they are just normal brown, and sometimes there are these very deep green with almost it looks like she has black whites of her eyes. I don't know. She's a
Interesting.
strange one. And either way, our Freerun here also has white hair, so perhaps he was just
And blue
part
eyes.
elf. And gray eyes, I would say, but
Depends on which part you look at. They get bluer as they go up.
I guess. Were they like unnaturally blue, or were they just like a normal blue?
It's like they almost have like a dim glow to them. It's
Hmm.
odd to describe.
Wow.
Sounds
Like
like an old
they would
Nordic.
shimmer, if that makes sense. That's what I
Okay, it's not those
assumed,
then.
but I could never find them.
Huh.
Well,
Maybe it's one of those old Nordic tales of a traveling swordsman. Maybe you got trained technically by one of the old Gorlick ghouls that live up in the caverns. Maybe you got teach the ancient ways of sword mastering.
That would be quite a story.
I don't think the Draugr are fit enough to pass for a human swordsman.
Yeah, and I don't think they're smart enough to teach anything either.
Well, you never know.
I mean, the ones I've seen usually just go and try and stab you.
I've heard some
You
of
know, the
them.
spirits that can't go to the Sovereign Guard are bound to like areas. Have you ever seen spirits before?
I've heard tales of some of
we
them
don't really get sent out
talking,
that far.
so perhaps it depends.
Maybe I was able to take over one of the ghoul bodies and disguise themselves.
Maybe.
Again, we live in strange times, so
I
don't
think
mind
any
my wandering
person
mind.
who is still a knight at 40 must have something to them to give them an edge in this world.
Possibly.
Well, hopefully he is still out there.
I'm hoping. It's been
It is a dangerous profession.
it's been about 13 years since I saw him, so
Well, I wish you the best of luck in your search.
I appreciate that.
What about
I have
you?
to ask, Chum,
Huh?
what, forgive me for my rudeness, what are you?
Well, most people will call me an Argonian, but I just lie to them and say, yeah, I'm Argonian. But, never really mentioned this. My dad's actually not originally from Tamriel. He's part alligator, actually, and my mom's part Argonian. And they kind of made me.
Alligator. I've never heard of such creature. What is an alligator?
It's kind of like an Argonian, but a much longer snout.
Hmm.
Well, that would be disturbing to see.
My dad's not the best looker, but he is a sweetheart at the end of the day. He's a really hard worker, and he loves my mom, so I'm thankful for that. And he's nice to me, so I just tell most people I'm Argonian, and they just go about their day. No one's ever really actually asked. But
Makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
part
can still hold
Argonians
my
aren't
breath as
exactly
long as an
rare.
Argonian underwater.
It
So
must be
I'm
quite
no-
useful.
Oh yeah. You know, God forbid you ever get chased by a bear. Running into the lake and staying under there for a long period of time, I think, you know,
I thought bears
bear
could
thinks
swim.
Yeah, but they can swim, but they can't breathe underwater.
Oh, but wouldn't it be able to just like dive down and get you?
Maybe, but I can move faster in the water than any bear.
Oh, that's quite impressive.
Well, my tail is very useful.
Indeed.
In fact, I've seen Argonians swimming, and if being part alligator is as any useful as that, I'd imagine that swimming would be pretty easy for you.
Actually, I'm faster than Argonian swimming. Believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah. For some reason, I don't know why. But I've been able to outswim pretty much any Argonia I've ever come across to.
Thicker tail, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. Sometimes it's a burden, sometimes it's a blessing.
Is your father also such a good swimmer, or is it more of the combined efforts of your genes that
My
make you
dad
so
can
good?
keep a pretty good pace with me, but my mom can't really keep up with me and my dad. I love in the lake every once in a while. It's so nice about that. After a long summer, it's kind of our go-to thing.
My family's go-to thing was just fighting each other with practice swords.
All work and no play, it sounds like to me.
Yeah, we didn't really have time for, playing about.
Yeah.
Family tradition.
It's hard not to break your tradition.
Indeed.
I don't know. I suppose in my experience, tradition is there if you need a backup plan, but sometimes you find your calling for something else. Sometimes your calling is the tradition of your family. At least, for me, that's what it was.
I mean, I've never really had a calling. It's just
More like
Who
calling
knows?
work,
arms, but
yeah, I get called. Okay, I get called to go and fight some bandits, but otherwise, and well, I of course fight some bandits, stop someone from trying to rob the grave sites, or to a feast, I guess. Thank you again, my lord.
You're welcome. It is.
Makes me want to ask a question again.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, not everybody gets to have a calling, so to speak. Some people just go through life doing their best.
It's true. But a
Can
question for
confirm.
you. Have you always used a spear and shield?
Originally no. I used to do the usual sword and shield. Pretty basic, pretty useful, but I don't know, I just kind of missed the reach that other weapons could have, so when I was doing my first week of being a guard, I kind of saved a blacksmith from a robbery, and the blacksmith asked me if I wanted anything, and so I said, surprise me, what do you think would work for me? And ergo, spear and shield.
Well, I do think it suits you.
Thank you. I also think it suits me. It's very good. It's its job.
I think the results speak for themselves.
That is also true. I don't think the bandit. Well, I think the bandits would complain about my choice of weapon, but they aren't anymore. Hopefully, it calms down now after that raid. Another big battle like that might leave us short-handed.
Hmm. So, Trump, if you're saying your parents are so loath to teach you the proper runnings of the farm, is it perhaps they're trying for a sibling to inherit it?
I don't know, actually, because my sister's not around, and my, I always hate saying it, my bastard brother, and he doesn't come around at all, really. He knows of us, but he doesn't come by or anything. And Mom and Dad really haven't talked to me about inheriting the farm. I think they just want it to themselves. I think maybe they're actually just trying to push me out the door to find a calling myself. That's why they don't let me actually learn stuff.
Oh, that doesn't seem quite that smart of them. They're not gonna be young and abled forever.
I
Surely
think
at
they
some
want to
point.
do that to the end of their days, really.
Surely they have to realize that at some point the farm will have to go to somebody else. And I would imagine they would prefer if it was their own flesh and blood instead of some random person.
Don't get me wrong, they're passionate about their work and everything. I don't know. I'm not inheriting it. I know that for a fact. Maybe
Why
Dan's
not?
just waiting for some wanderer to come by and want to buy our farm. Maybe move us out somewhere different.
Well, that is rather rude, I would say. Their only legitimate child, and they're giving you this much of a clear picture that you're not gonna be inheriting the farm?
Don't get me wrong, I don't really want to be a farmer the rest of my life. I'd like to know the traits so that I can do whatever I need, but farming's not my goal.
Oh, okay, my bad. I
What is your goal?
misunderstood. Indeed, tell us.
I've always been intrigued about the College of Winterhold, to be honest. I'm actually intrigued by a lot of magic.
Oh, you'd like to
But-
be a mage.
Yeah, but it's too damn fucking cold in Winterhold. I want to go up there. That's why I like it over here. It's nice and cozy, and I don't have to worry too much about my body heat that much. It gets cold some nights, but not as cold as Winterhold.
Do you have any, how to say, foundational knowledge of magic, or is it just something you would like to pursue?
Actually, yes, restoration magic I'm quite intrigued by and actually know a few spells.
Oh, indeed.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's actually come in handy, especially when Dad pulls something or breaks his leg on something stupid.
Who taught you, if you don't mind me asking?
Nobody. My parents gave me an allowance, and every once in a while I'd go to the store and buy a few books from your mage in the city center. Destruction magic didn't really catch my eye.
To be in the general store.
Restoration.
I don't think the
Yeah.
mage sells stuff down in the center.
She sells ingredients and stuff, but every once in a while she gets a book.
Talking about
Pretty
the
sure.
Kurt mage? I don't think.
No, the one in city center. Near
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I think she's more of an alchemist. No, well, you know.
Well,
I
she
think-
can really diagnose people, though, especially when they don't look so well.
Yeah. Personally, I just think she diagnoses everyone with ataxia, and then every once in a while it hits, and people are very impressed with it.
Fair. Fair. But, hey, I can't blame her. But she has taught me a few things about some potions as well, and healing properties is kind of my go-to, I guess.
I mean, if there's anything that is useful of magic, it's the alchemists.
Yeah.
Garrison's been saved by healing potions more than they have anything else.
Yeah, I'm still working on mine. The last one I tried, I ended up getting, I forgot what the disease was. It thankfully didn't last too long.
Oh, that's good. Well, I suppose alchemy must be quite like cooking, no? And you have mentioned previously that you are in the most talented at that.
Still trying to learn how to cook. Yeah, but I feel as though alchemy kind of helps. The last potion I made actually didn't have any negative effects.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks.
What kind of potion was it?
I think the last potion I tried to make was a stamina potion. I was trying to make something for Dad because he gets tired after a long period of time, and I tried it, and it felt really good. Like I went for a swim, and I felt like I did at least 50 laps around it. It definitely had a good effect. So probably later tonight I'll probably try and make something for Dad for tomorrow. I know he's gonna be tired after today's job. He always looks dead.
Oh, perhaps you can try to apprentice at the apothecary. If your parents are not letting you learn important skills, maybe you could, as we mentioned before, try your luck elsewhere.
That's not a bad idea.
I apologize, but I do have to be elsewhere very soon.
Of course. I wouldn't want to
Unfortunately,
hold you
guards'
back.
duties are never over. I thank you for the invite, my lord, and the food was wonderful, as well as the drink.
Well, thank you.
And I will say adieu. And it was wonderful meeting everyone who I have not met before.
Godspeed, soldier.
Safe travels.
Which one?
Safe travels.
By the nines. Don't.
Farewell.
Don't tweak.
By the nines, don't tweak.
Would you like your special brew, my lord?
Yes, thank you.
I think they'd be fun to spar. I'll have to keep that in mind.
I think that's pretty fair.
Hmm. Yes?
Nothing.
Is there something on my face?
No, you had a little ale, but you hadn't gotten it. It's fine.
Okay. Because you were looking at me with such intensity.
Oh, I see.
You two look very similar.
Oh!
Hello.
Lucinda! Welcome. So glad to finally see you here.
Okay. I was taking my time. You can never rush
I'm
these sorts
sure.
of things.
The ledgers must have been irresistible this night, weren't they?
Yeah, had to.
It's not like we
all the
were planning
balances
this
checked.
party for an entire week.
Okay, I know. It was like last moment, and then you have to like. It was important. Okay.
The numbers,
But
the
I'm here
numbers
now,
will not wait.
so
You know, it's not like it takes months and weeks to deliver them anyway.
Well, better start while we can, right? Then it's like a couple hours shorter.
Well, of course. Anyway, everybody, I would like to introduce you to my beloved sister, Lucinda. I'm sure you've heard of them.
Hello.
Her.
Hello.
Hello again.
Hello.
Indeed,
Again.
I've invited that person you've met outside the walls, Chomp. You remember them, right?
Oh.
Remember? Yeah. That was the one you met on the main road. Remember? Near my farm?
Yeah. I think so, yeah. I meet a lot of people.
Well.
Could you refresh my memory a little more?
You actually asked the same question that your brother did earlier. You asked me what I was. And I said most people say I'm an Argonian, but I'm actually an alligator.
You're an alligator?
It's apparently like an Argonian with like a bigger snout. It's very intriguing, isn't it?
Oh. Yeah.
I think that's kind of why you invited me.
Oh. I don't see the snake.
Well, I suppose we'll see. Either way,
Okay.
so Lucinda, this is our dearest guests, Lilith, Jade, Chomp, and Freerun.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
You've just missed the guard captain, I'm afraid.
That's unfortunate. I'm sure there would have been some business we could have done. But
This isn't
maybe
a
another time.
business party. It's for our parents to organize. Come on. There's been like 3 of them this week. Surely you're businessed out.
No.
She works too hard for her own good.
Yeah.
Footsteps.
Well, someone's got to.
Do my part. I, do talk to people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have your part, and I have mine.
Yeah, and, maybe your part could involve a bit less ledger duty. Do we not have people who can count beside you in this whole keep?
Well, I I just like to double check things, you know?
Yeah.
Don't want to have our name on something because someone did something wrong, right?
Indeed.
What would that do to reputation?
Well, I suppose if you don't trust. Oh, no. I'm not getting into it. She is very dutiful, indeed.
What do you mean? You guys seem like two peas in the pot.
Well. I suppose it depends on your point of view.
I'm being a sarcastic point of view, by the way.
Okay, well.
Oh. Okay.
I am afraid I must depart.
Of course.
Oh,
Okay.
goodbye.
Due to some reasons outside of my control.
Why did you talk to?
It is nice meeting you all, and I hope that our paths may cross again someday.
Indeed.
Likewise.
I
Safe travels, freedom.
You too.
Well, it seems odd you missed on talking to the famous Freeran as well. That's so sad.
Sad we didn't get to hear any of their stories.
Yeah, that's true. She didn't. She was like, "Oh, I'll think of
I'm
one," and
tweaking
then
now.
she didn't. Yeah, by the nines, I'm tweaking.
By the nines, I'm
Is she
tweaking.
like-
I
by
can't.
the ninth
Oh my
of
God.
Bacon.
Never heard that in my life.
Hello there.
You're more into adventurers than I am. Is she a big deal?
She's a
Hey.
Everybody.
1,000-year-old
Welcome in.
range who travels all across the
Thank you.
realm. And...
Oh.
You should know famous
Oh.
people.
Yeah, you're right. I
They
just
do have quite a lovely place. Oh,
today
wow.
would have been a good
That meal
chance
looks
for
good.
me to learn
I
about
just
that.
noticed it.
I guess. Whoops.
Well, she didn't say anything interesting. It's
Greetings.
fine. Anyway, hello there. Welcome to the party. I am the host here, Vincent, along with my sister Lucinda. Who might you
Hello. To meet you.
be? Nice to
I'm
meet
Yorin Takame.
Yorin?
Pleasure to... Yorin, yeah.
Mm.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance. Nice to meet you. Vincent, right?
Yes, indeed.
Pleasure. Where can I take my seat?
Oh, anyway, really, we don't stand on formality here.
Oh, I see.
Here, sir.
So maybe we should.
I think.
What?
This is a chill
No,
party.
Thank you.
I've told
Your
you
green
that
hair
this
reminded me
is a
of
chill
something I
party.
was
We
thinking
are
about.
chilling.
Sorry.
We're not doing
Okay.
Oh,
like
love it.
5 forks etiquette bullshit.
It's
People
an
can
old
sit,
childhood memory with me
okay?
and my sister is all.
Okay. Wait, so how many forks are there then?
There's
What
no
do you mean?
forks.
Sister had green
Down by
hair?
the creek.
There's
we
one.
had-
There's
no,
one fork.
we had found a
One
jade.
fork. That's
Funnily enough,
not.
a little jade, and it reminded me of
I
your
should
hair.
have been here since the start. Then I could have put more forks out.
Okay,
Oh,
first of all,
that's-
that's the maid's job. Do not be putting out
Nice.
forks
Yeah.
out. We still have reputation
I
to
know.
uphold.
Okay, well then I should have ordered her to put forks out.
Not put out 4 forks. We have peasants here. They're gonna be in.
Oh, you're
They're,
right.
they're not gonna
They'd
know
be
what to do with them
confused.
anyway.
They don't know how to do
Yeah,
this
yes,
stuff.
Yes, exactly.
You're
Just
right. You're right.
why? This is chill stuff with chill people.
Okay. I'm just not used to the, you know.
Yes, I am aware.
Oh, thank you. This looks
Here you go.
delicious.
My vision. Roasted beef.
Thank you. Do we have forks? Knives?
Yeah, they're on the table.
They are side.
just,
Okay, okay.
you know.
Oh.
Anybody else want some beef? Uh, uh. Promise it's not possessed.
So, how has the party been going so far? I'm sorry that I'm a little bit late. I had some important business to run.
Oh, it's okay. It's been going good.
If you want some, now would be the time.
Oh, thank you very
Want to
much.
see a trick my dad
Hey.
taught
May I
me?
ask what type of
I'm
liquor this
afraid to
is?
ask for sure.
This is wine.
Just don't freak out, okay?
Ah, all right.
I don't freak out easy, so go ahead.
Oh,
Clean, right?
okay.
Sorry.
Impressive.
Huh.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Oh. Don't be shy. I always like to see interesting things, even if they may not be polite. Either way. So tell us
Wow,
about
I didn't
yourself.
burp after.
Your, I'm sorry, Yorick?
No, that is pretty cool. Nobody can steal food from you, at least.
They know better.
Oh,
not to.
about me. I am a prince of the city called Haven in the province Cradle.
Ah,
And
indeed.
we have a lovely place of a lot of adventurers. And yeah, business is going good.
My apologies for not recognizing
like
you
to
on
get-
sight. I really thought
Oh,
you'd have
it's-
like a band of announcers and stuff.
Oh, it's
Nice.
alright, don't worry about it. This is the first time we kind of reached a bit further out, not directly to the neighboring countries, but, you know, it's been a little bit of a travel to get here. So it's alright.
Oh, well, how you've been finding Skyrim?
I mean, that's pretty interesting so far. I will have to look a bit further into it before I can give a proper conclusion and make my mind on what's going on here.
You
But
can say it's
so
cold
far, the
as hell.
impression
It's
has been
okay.
pretty good. Oh, yeah, I mean, you know, you can put on clothes. The weather is the least of the concerns.
Ah, indeed.
The important part is business.
Business, indeed. Yes, I'm sure you'll enjoy talking to my sister a lot. But perhaps in the after party.
Didn't you say your sister's a tailor?
Yeah, we can wait.
Mhm.
For now.
Okay, so I have this crazy idea. Okay.
I'm happy to enjoy
for pajama
a
wear.
wonderful meal
I
and a
thought
great wine.
Might sell pretty
Indeed.
good.
Just
If
delicious.
there's anything
you,
more
by the
you
way.
need,
I
you
was
feel
wondering
free
if your
to
sister
inform the maid.
maybe could tailor me something.
Yes, I will.
I like to call
I already
it
asked about the wine
a
and got a
onesie.
nice answer.
Hmm,
Good.
I'm glad you're enjoying.
Onesie? What is that?
So it's something like
So how
a
do you
cloak,
enjoy
but it
Skyrim?
doesn't wear like a cloak.
I take it
So
you're the
it has
person in
peaks,
charge of this place?
Well,
go
that
up
would
to
be
about
our
30
parents.
and then it covers pretty much all your top here up
That
to
would
your
be our
wrists.
parents.
And then it has a
We
hoodie
are
that goes over.
set to
like a
inherit, though.
And then there's just like a
So
little opening
we
here.
are
and you
learning
make this like button
how
thing
to
that
manage
goes all
the
the way
place.
up.
To me then.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like pajama wear, and it's made of like something like
No, nothing. Just
it's kind of made
saying
of like
we get
almost
the
like fancy
ropes,
robes
you know?
type fabric.
Yeah,
But
indeed.
it's super soft on the inside and it keeps you warm during cold nights.
Yeah, they are the
So like a
jarls
wearable
of the
blanket.
surrounding area.
Pretty much, yeah. Except like you can wear it around the house.
So you
and
mentioned
stuff
the
and,
cold,
you know,
right?
like,
I'm
be
honestly quite
cozy on
interested.
those
In my
cold
kingdom,
winter nights.
it's like my father's kingdom, but our kingdom.
I actually
We
brought
have
a prototype my
I brought
mom kind
a
of put
little
together.
bit warmer weather,
I'll be right
right?
back.
I mean, yeah, makes sense. So what are like the
okay.
challenges of this? I could imagine that it's quite hard to harvest and take care of all the animals and the crops.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that. the farming is very difficult, I imagine. Maybe you can
Don't
ask
laugh.
Chomp about
Oh.
the farming challenges. She's a
What do you think?
farmer from
It's
beyond the
definitely your
walls.
color, that's for sure.
Yeah. Obviously.
This lady over there?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, they seem
What do
to
you
be
think?
busy. I might come there a little bit later.
Indeed.
Think it might sell?
Maybe amongst the youth.
It does mean the, you know,
Well,
the buildings has to be very well
it's
insulated.
cozy for me
And
being
Oh,
like an
yeah.
Arthonian and stuff.
It's gotta be
Warming-
expensive.
Part
yeah,
alligator
warming
And
going
for other
these
races.
huge halls
Yes.
is a constant struggle, but
How about this?
it's actually
If you don't mind a trip, everything will be
Do
paid
it quite
for.
well for this one.
Why
I
don't
mean,
you
there's a
come
huge
present it yourself?
fireplace.
yeah. Well, we want our guests to be comfortable. I mean, personally, I'm quite fond of a
Never
little bit
been
of cold. I don't really
outside
mind it
this
as
area,
much,
But sure, yeah.
so
I'll
it's
go
not
with
really
you.
a problem for me.
Don't worry, you'll be
I
well
mean,
protected.
that's a good
and
thing,
everything will
since
be
this
paid
is
for.
the
You don't have
place
to worry about
where you're
anything.
born, I suppose, and that you're supposed to be ruling in the
appreciate that.
future.
Indeed.
It's nice that you fit in the environment.
Of course.
Indeed.
Anyway, I'm
Our
gonna
family has been ruling
Yes.
this place for generations.
Yes.
A little bit of
so
cold's
I'm
not gonna
sorry.
chase us away.
At the start, I kind of missed your name.
Lucinda.
Pardon?
Lucinda?
Lucinda. I see. Beautiful name.
Thanks.
Is there any dancing planned after this? Or is it
Yes.
just supposed to be a dinner party?
Oh, well. If you want to dance, you're more than welcome to, but no, this is not so official. I surely have mentioned it in the invitation. This is more of a casual affair with casual people. I don't even know if some of our guests know how to do the dances that we are used to.
Practice quite a bit to get it nailed down.
Well, there is a proper ball planned for nobles tomorrow, which I assume you've already got an invite to as well.
Oh, right, yeah.
Mm.
Of course.
I just figured, you seem like a very personable type of noble. So I figured you might enjoy something a bit less, how to say, stuffy. To start you out with?
To be in touch with all the people.
Indeed.
A good person in charge is also capable of being, adaptable to any situation.
Yes, I agree. How can you rule people when you don't know what their lives are like, after all?
Exactly. That's what I keep telling my sister as well, but she doesn't really get it.
I also have a sister.
It's okay. Yeah, we shouldn't talk about this here. It's all right.
Oh, well. Siblings.
I don't want to bring personal family problems to this dinner party.
It's alright. You can complain. I'm not gonna tell.
Oh, I'm fine, thank you.
If you wish. Ugh.
Oh. Yeah.
Everything
It's
all right?
fine, the maid will get it. Nah, just spilled a little bit of the wine. Don't worry about it.
The maid we have here, taking care of it immediately.
Exactly.
Only the best service for our guests.
Indeed. So, Chomp, our prince guest here had some questions about challenges of farming in this cold environment.
Oh,
That would be quite interesting.
Yeah, my dad actually works on the fields majority of the time. It's actually very hard backbreaking work majority of the time.
Yeah, I can
keeping the
imagine.
farm and everything.
Well, good that you're managing it. I assume it takes quite a lot of, education at the start to get it all
Yeah,
into the
my
veins,
dad's
into
been
the
doing
blood.
it since he was since he was like 15. He's been working the fields.
Admirable.
Yeah, he comes home exhausted every day.
Imagine. There's quite a few different challenges depending on the field you're working in.
So tell me,
Something is a little
Jade,
bit more on
any
the physical work. The others have to make
interesting
difficult
monsters
decisions,
you've slain in your travels?
Yeah,
taking more
he's
toll on
also-
the mental part.
Yeah. Yeah.
On one of the
definitely
traveling
some mental
parties,
toll on
we
it,
came
but
across
he's
a
on an active,
frost troll,
thankfully.
which
He
was
really
not fun.
understands the fields and how they work.
Oh.
He actually found a way to actually
How did you defeat it
keep
then?
the crops warm even though in cold water. It's quite interesting.
Well, there were 3 of us in the search party. We were looking for a
Well, maybe
Yeah.
a noble had
we
lost
don't have to deal
during a
with these
travel
amount
an
of
amulet that was
winters
apparently
and
enchanted.
cold, right?
We were going to
Although
find it.
winter is there,
Apparently, this
usually we
frost
can
troll
get by,
had found it
having enough
and taken it
crops
to its
during the
cave.
spring and summer, so we have
But
enough savings for the.
how we ended up slaying it was through a very long and grueling process of
However, it could be
firstly aiming
efficient
for its
to
arms,
keep growing
primarily
crops
the
during the
underarm
cold
here,
seasons.
that way it couldn't swing
Maybe
at
we
us
should
anymore.
have a meeting about that
After
at some
that, it
point in
was
the future.
a little bit easier,
If you want, sure.
although it was very loud.
I'll tell you what I
It took
know.
at least, I want to say, 3 days
If
for
you
my
make a
hearing to finally
profit off
recover
of
the
it.
way I can actually hear.
I'm just kidding.
Mm,
I don't really care.
indeed. That does sound very interesting.
But no, anything to help people.
And
really.
dangerous.
One of the
Things
things
do end up being that way.
At least spoil for it is. My dad
I'd
can
much
grow
rather a
crops
bear,
even
to
in
be
the winter
honest.
when it's snowing out.
Aw. Bears versus trolls.
That's amazing.
Truly no good
It's actually
choices
quite
there.
simple. He found a
No.
way to.
At least it
make the
wasn't a
water
giant.
hot
I
because
think
he
that was
found
called
a
a
hot
retreat.
spring at the bottom of the lake. So he ran some lines
Giants
up
are
there from the bottom.
very dangerous
keep
when
the crops
angered,
warm
but
during
at
the
least they're
winter.
not inherently
He has this
aggressive,
thing
the
called,
same as
he calls
trolls
it
are.
irrigation?
Ooh, yes, as long as you don't
Since
encroach
he
on their
can choose
territory,
which type of
they
water
tend to
goes
leave you
in, either
alone
cold or warm. Believe it or not, with the hot springs water,
and leave their
your
livestock
crops
alone.
actually come in
Yeah.
much more thicker.
Imagine
because they
calling
absorb
mammoths livestock
water even better.
truly
So he kind
something
of
to behold.
in between
In
cold
their
and hot
eyes,
water,
it is.
and it actually
Yeah, I
makes the food
suppose
quite bigger and more delectable.
they're much more equal in
Like,
size, but it's
interesting.
still
His
very
cabbages will
impressive
come
how
in
they
really
manage
great, his
to
potatoes are huge.
herd them.
And then he's made some really big
Most
pumpkins.
definitely.
Imagine
It's
having a
crazy.
cow that's like twice as tall as you, or like
Pumpkins are a very
one
good
and a
source of
half.
food. I like them a lot.
Very
in
Yeah.
our
And you
place
got like
as
a
well.
whole
That's-
herd of them.
Wonder hot spring water. We usually just boil water.
I don't see how they manage it, to be honest.
Although
Yeah,
it does
well.
take a lot of effort to heat it up.
Yeah.
Even hot springs is interesting. I wonder if we have some.
Do you spend a
Hmm.
lot
Our
of
area.
time fighting against other people?
Maybe we'd
Like
have to search for that.
bandits or any more interesting
yeah,
opponents?
it helps being, you know,
Usually during travel,
Oregonian.
when traveling to further out countries and cities,
I see. That's
there
interesting.
tends to be several
Thank you very much for the
fights
information.
along the way. Camping, you can get ambushed along the
Hopefully
route that you
your
travel.
people
They tend
can
to encircle
prosper
you
from
in one
said
payment.
information.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Others just
we
want to steal your
find good
cart.
ways.
But other than that,
So, anyways, how's the dinner
most of the
party
time,
been
at
going
least
for
within,
my lady?
I'd say, Riften,
been going pretty
Redwood,
good. The food's been
around
quite
the
delightful.
area. It's not as much
I can
fighting
tell.
bandits,
I'm really
but traveling
enjoying
any
this.
further to like Solitude,
Great wine.
it can get a bit rough
The wine's
with
really
the
good.
fights.
Helps me stay warm.
Yeah.
At least on
You
the inside.
ever killed some real monsters? You ever hunted like, I don't know, like a werewolf or a vampire?
So are you like in direct working together with
I've
Vincent and
met
um,
a vampire.
the name?
Oh.
I have not slain one,
Lucinda.
Pardon me. Listen.
and a werewolf I
Lucinda
have.
I actually met on the main road.
Not
And
many
she
who would
came
show
to invite
mercy
me
to a
here.
vampire. That must
She
have
went
been an
past my
interesting
farm and
encounter.
she
Tell me
seemed
more.
like an interesting gal, so I decided to say hi.
It was.
Good to know. Very nice.
They were very frail.
Yeah, Lucinda
Almost
was a
looked like they hadn't
very nice girl.
had fed in
Lovely.
quite a while. It looks like they were sickly. I just couldn't bring myself to do it.
Excuse me for a
They,
moment.
even when I walked close to them, they
Use the right-
cowered away instead of trying to feed or anything, fight, nothing. They just
That's
tried to cower away.
interesting. You know, from my reading, usually when vampires are
for in
hungry,
the
that is
future in the
when they
restroom
are
as
at
well.
their most ferocious and their
Uh,
most
right
dangerous.
behind it. Here, the door on your right.
From what I heard as well, which
Oh,
is why I
okay,
was so
thank you, thank you.
cautious. But it
You're
didn't show
welcome,
any
my
other signs
prince.
of a normal vampire. So I reluctantly decided to get a small vial of blood and threw it at the vampire, and the vampire took it and ran off. I don't know if it lived, but
No offense, but that does not seem quite wise, isn't it? Eventually they would have to feed from the populace, and then who knows what might happen.
eventually, but it was several, I want to say, days out into a forest. I doubt they could have gotten that far, unless they fed on livestock.
Can vampires only drink mortal blood? I don't think they can eat animals.
I've heard stories that they can feed off of animals, but I've never seen it in practice. More of a rumor than anything.
Well, certainly a merciful knight we have here.
Only if they don't have the will to fight.
It's not fun if it's not a challenge, is that it?
I didn't say that, but I think I could agree with it.
Wow.
I don't kick Wadari's down.
Well, I suppose I can respect that.
Have you seen anything in your travels? I'm assuming you've traveled a little ways.
Oh, some, but you know how it is with the noble son, always behind like 5 layers of guards bristling with steel and silver. Nothing so interesting.
I definitely understand that.
Just one palace after the next, and you know, tents that are made as comfortable as they can be, but ultimately there is only so much you can do for a carriage.
Fortunately.
Yeah, well, can't help shitty roads, and well, let's just say traveling is not exactly my, or at least traveling like in a big group. I've gone out on some more, what's the word for it? Personal adventures, just me, a trusted guard and a horse, and of course, my sister dragged along for the ride, indeed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Quite a few times.
honestly. I think the trade of not having a tent as big, as comfortable as it can be, is more than enough more than enough trade for the freedom and, you know, the wind in your hair that riding on your own horse allows.
You're more of a free spirit then.
Well, I suppose. You ever
Not what
hear
I
somebody
expected,
like?
but definitely enjoyable to know.
They ever hear somebody brag about like, oh, I'm like an imprisoned spirit, you know? I'm very non-free spirit. I think everybody wants to think
I
of themselves
see.
as free spirit. Did Chomp went to the bathroom?
Must have. Oh,
Where did
I think
her and the
they
prince go?
I was in that.
Well. See if you can find them and make sure they're not getting too friendly. How about that?
Oh,
If you wish.
I would certainly
Go
hope
for it.
not.
No royal's place.
Well, you know, you can never trust them nobles. If they seem nice.
I listened to heard plenty of your brother's escapades just now. How about yourself?
Escapades. Oh. You know, I don't really get up to too much. He would be a better storyteller, I'm sure. I mostly spend my time with my notes.
And she can tell you all about various trading stuff going around in the country.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid some
Well,
interesting
most
I
of that
see.
most of that is confidential, so you know, we can't have those trade routes get in.
Nice.
You know how it is.
You're more of a businesswoman then.
Yes, yes. I like to focus on the numbers and make sure everything gets to where it needs
I see. It's very respectable of you, and that makes the reason why this one seems a little more free, I suppose.
What's that supposed to mean?
He has more of a, not to be rude, but a aloof personality, I suppose.
I like to
Commanding
think I'm more
presence, but aloof
personable.
personality. And you are. Although, listen to he's good at having conversation. You just seem more adept at it.
She hasn't had a conversation with you. How do you know she's good at it?
I mean, just by what she said there. You don't need much to know. At least in terms of conversation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Knowing more about somebody else, in fact.
I see. Well, that's certainly first I've seen this type of judgment on the two of us. Usually I'm seen as the more social butterfly, but see, somebody appreciates your style.
I think it's because I've been around them too much recently.
Miss Chomp, how nice to see you. You doing okay?
Yeah, I just had to use the restroom.
Uh-huh, of course.
Actually,
What happened to
guy I was talking to about farming. Where did he go?
Oh, the prince. Good question. Where did he
He
go?
went to the restroom as well.
Oh, good.
Ah.
Must have just missed him.
Yep.
I guess so. Well, we do have separate bathrooms, so.
We do? I'm just joking.
You had me really worried there for a second. I'm not gonna lie.
Miss Chomp? Is that your
Yeah.
name? Is that a nickname? Full name?
I have an actual name, but even my parents call me Chomp. It's just a nickname that actually just sticks.
Well, regardless, could you humor me a bit more? You said you knew me, and normally
Yeah,
better with
right.
faces, but
It's okay. You probably remember me all covered in dirt from working with my dad. I met you on the main road going towards the city. We crossed paths. You were leaving and I was going. And
so
I gave you a compliment about your appearance. You said you looked really pretty. We got to talking.
good. Okay, sorry. This happens a lot. My memory's a bit finicky.
With probably how many people you meet, I'm probably the last thing on your mind.
Sorry about that.
That's totally fine. I'm okay.
Well, you
Why
did
did
go
we
and
stop
tell me
this?
to invite her, so I'm sure she can't complain too much.
We started talking. I think it was restoration magic. How I'm actually interested in everything, and I think you mentioned something about Vincent knowing someplace I could go to actually start working on it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, it's coming back to me now. Okay.
Yeah.
Perhaps if you
Right.
want to stay after the party a bit, we could have a discussion about that.
I would
Yeah,
really
yeah.
appreciate it from both
Yeah,
of you.
that, of course. It's not much a topic for dinner parties, but afterwards, I'm sure we'll...
It is important
no.
to, what's the word for it? Nurture the... sorry, no words coming to me. The talents of the people
Of course.
that we
yeah.
have.
I gotcha. Makes sense.
And God knows we could stand to have a better court mage, so who knows?
I don't think maybe I could take their spot. Maybe at some point, if you guys would have me, but I can't say I would be great at destruction magic, but anything else, I'm pretty sure I can work something into that.
Need not be so humble. It will only be a discussion. We will see.
I gotcha. Yeah, well, I appreciate it either way. Glad to see my dad's wrong about something for once.
Does he not want you to be learning magic?
No, he's all about it. He just told me I'd have a rougher time trying to make it. Hearing your guys' kindness is a good change of heart from what I've been taught.
Of course. Well, sometimes all you need is one lucky break. And your whole fate can change.
Seems nice.
maybe it was fate that we met them.
Mysterious how the gods can work in their mysterious ways.
Yeah.
Or maybe just coincidence of timing.
I like to think there's something going on up there that brings people together.
Same. Again, thank you for the invitation to come up here. It's been quite
Oh.
pleasurable.
Yeah, of course. You know, meeting people that are more among the commoners is it's very different, but
I bet.
good change of pace and good to meet your constituents and all that.
You're a lot different from other people that I've heard over the years, so it's good to hear.
Not saying all rulers are bad, I'm just saying some just fit the description of a careless ruler.
No, that couldn't be us.
From what I've seen, yeah, could never be you guys.
Oh, how nice. I know our parents try, and I would like to think that we both learn from them to care about our people.
Glad your parents could be an example for that, like, for you guys. So, I have to actually ask. I made the joke earlier about my dad saying, you know, be careful. Go when you're going up to the city, you might get swooped away by a dragon. So, the dragon skull above Dad's throne, I would say. Is that real?
Indeed.
So they did really exist.
Yeah, in the old days. They say they ruled over the people of Skyrim. Can you believe that?
It's crazy.
Just imagine, like, going up to the palace of your ruler, and then it's a frigging dragon that just looks down on you and is like, more cows. I assume that's how it was.
That is such a interesting way of life.
They say they didn't just kill it, but they captured it as well. Kept it in this very palace. That's why it's called Dragonsreach.
Ah. Interesting. I never thought us mortals would be able to capture said dragon in any shape or form.
Well, with enough ingenuity, I think everything is possible. We don't have to be playthings for gods and Daedra for all of our existence. One day, maybe one day, we shall reach the gates of Sovngarde itself and see what is beyond it with our own eyes. Without dying first, of course.
Yeah.
really quite sad when you think about it. How something so grand could have just disappeared from history.
Yeah.
Hmm. I've heard around some rumors that there's
Not kept
apparently a
good
group of
records.
people.
You go.
I've heard word around that there's a group of people that think the dragons are gonna return.
Hopefully not. I would definitely
Hopefully.
tell Dad to stop farming then.
I mean, to be fair, if there were dragons that came back, would farm really be any less dangerous than the city? After all, the walls wouldn't exactly be able to protect us from a dragon, and such tight pack of prey would, I think, be more appealing than one farm far outside the walls.
That's fair in that sense. Depends on how hungry the dragon is. If he's looking for a flyby snack, I feel as though I'm an easier target.
Well, to be fair, no offense, but I don't know if he'd be that much of a snack. I think they may go for the
None too good.
livestock first.
Either way, my dad's always in the fields. I don't want him to follow the same thing he would tell me all the time. Don't get swooped away by a dragon.
Just gotta keep an eye on the sky.
Hopefully I never have to.
I don't
They
think you
went
will.
extinct once, right? They'll just go extinct again.
I mean, the real question is like, how would they even go unextinct? I feel like that would be a very difficult thing to pull off.
Yeah.
I think
It's
we're
all
Bunch
just
of
hearsay at
crazy
the
old
end
men.
of it.
Yeah, I feel as though it's the same hearsay.
Yeah. Honestly. I think people just like to be afraid, like to make other people afraid. And some people like to be afraid too, but I think it is really quite not nice for people to be spreading that kind of rumors.
I know my dad just means it as a joke, but I don't know
Oh,
if he's
no,
ever
I
really
meant
been
the-
serious about that.
I meant the cultists.
Oh, the cultists. I don't care what they say. The way they look and what they speak, who can really ever take them seriously? Especially the Forsworn. They're ugly.
I don't think Forsworn have something to do with dragons that much. I think they're kind of got
Well,
their
I'm
own
saying
thing
more
going.
of a cult type thing.
To be fair, they do have some legitimate magic.
Don't get me wrong,
I've heard that they are able to cut somebody's heart out and replace it with a thistle, and that person is still able to keep going with their magic.
Interesting. Ah, I wonder if that falls underneath restoration magic.
It's probably necromancy, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Ah.
Maybe a mix
Have
of
to see.
both.
They do run hand in hand.
Well,
I think
once you're
necromancy
in
is more of
charge,
a
you can
conjuration
probably
thing,
crack
you know?
down on it.
Mm.
Well, once you're in charge, you can probably crack down on it, right?
Oh, well, the Forsworn are a bit on the other hold, which, you know, they only occasionally stumble through here. I don't think they're our problem. The Reach can take care of them on their own.
That's fair. That is their jurisdiction anyway.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Maybe the next Jarl of Reach will be a Forsworn. That would be a interesting shakeup.
It'd be something, that's for sure.
Hmm.
I have to ask, did one of our guests die and we just kind of left their body
Is the
there?
prince in the toilet still? Is he having issues?
No,
Can you
no,
go
not the
check on
prince. Though
him?
he is not the prince, so he is a concern. I was more referring to our other
Oh.
guest who has not moved, or nor I think blinked since I. Oh,
She's
they're
blinked. She
shifting, but-
moves. She's just quiet.
I'm very alive.
Give her a
I've
break.
never been the talkative type.
I mean, you can join the conversation if you want to, of course. You just.
Sure, but I don't have much to add.
Well. I wouldn't want you to feel excluded for any reason.
Oh, that close to the fire.
You're a fire mage as well? Unafraid of your own element?
I'm not a fire mage, no. But I can handle the heat.
It's quite hypnotic. Sometimes during our more, what's the word for it? More political meetings, I like to just kind of sit and I just stare at the fire. While people...
When calls on you and you don't know what they were talking about.
I can usually remember. It's like, you know, I have like a buffer in the brain. I remember like the last 5 things they say, and then the rest just like goes. So when they call upon me, I'm just like, oh, rewind, and then I can... Listen, you know, one of us can still be the crowd favorite without paying attention.
What's that supposed to mean?
You know, I'm just saying, one of us knows the numbers. And the other is liked by the people.
Ouch. True, though.
I'm sure some people like you. The ones that care about business. See, Chomp likes you. Maybe you should spend more time with the peasants. Maybe they'll forgive your stilted manner of speech.
Still? Right? Okay. It's not that stilted, is it? No.
I mean, once you get going, it's not.
Is it?
But
Huh.
you could stand to actively engage a bit more instead of just waiting to be called upon. Is all I'm saying.
Oh. Okay, well, how do you actively engage then?
I don't know, just jump into the conversation. I don't know how I do it, okay? It's just natural. I'm just naturally good at conversation. So I'm afraid I cannot teach you.
Well, I don't. It's not something I'm worried about.
Of course. Well, you don't have to be worried about it. You got me.
That's true.
There you go. Well. Either way. Did the prince die on the toilet, by the way? Have you checked on him?
I will check right now.
He did come from far away.
Yeah, maybe one of our food didn't agree with him. That would be quite unfortunate. Hey, if the...
Wait, did he eat again?
The roast beef. Anyway,
It was
if the prince of the haven just does not turn up anywhere, you guys know to keep your mouth shut.
Who was here?
No one.
No.
He is currently resting in the court mage's quarters.
The other quarters that are not being used as a toilet, right? Okay.
Okay. Well, he isn't dead. That's good.
That's good. That would be quite the diplomatic incident.
That would be a declaration of war.
I mean, listen, we can't... I don't think it would be that bad. Like, Haven is quite far away. They would understand, like, but it would not be great. I'll just say that.
No, we would not get good trades for a few years.
Yeah. It would be very interesting. That's for sure.
Hey, so you've been in quite a few fights before. I have a question for you.
Hmm.
Have you ever gotten attacked on the road before? Maybe by a certain group? They wear red and black.
Ooh.
Three of us here
Red
are
and
wearing
Like
black.
Lilith?
Four of us here.
Yeah,
All of us
three
are
of
wearing red and
us.
black.
I mean, he's more of
Let
gray
me-
and black.
Let
But,
me
yeah.
be more descriptive. Have you ever been attacked by the Dark Brotherhood?
We know.
My dad used to do jokes about that, except he would put his hand there. He used to put it underneath my pillow to scare me.
Your dad sounds like a frigging riot, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, if I ever snuck his snacks, he would. Well, he did it when I was younger.
Just
Bit
casually
more of a
threatening your daughter with assassination, it's fine.
And more like he's telling me he knows that I stole a snack. I always thought it was funny, and I'd be like, yeah, I did. He's like, yeah, I know.
Personally,
Have you?
I don't know how much I'm allowed to say about it, but there was an incident, yes.
Ah. Glad to see you won.
One is a loose term, but sure.
escaped. Survived.
Survived is more like it.
Persevered.
It was not easy.
You think it is true what they say about them? That they get the that they get their orders straight from the Night Mother?
I don't know what is true and what's not. I just know that next time if I see one of them, it won't happen like it did last time.
You'll be ready this
Hopefully
time?
not.
Yes.
Well, good luck to you. To killing assassins, I guess.
Thank you.
Yeah. I personally think they're just a jumped up bunch of thugs with good PR.
Depends on how much of a threat you are.
Well, how many, like, actually important people have you heard that got assassinated by Dark Brotherhood, right? So much. It's all just, like, random fishermen that somebody had beef with. I think half of the Dark Brotherhood murders are just somebody, like, stabbing their rival in the back and then being all like, oh, Dark Brotherhood. It was totally them and not me. Anyway, I think in half an hour or so, I would say it would be quite enough. Just as a heads up.
Yeah.
We don't want to spend...
See.
Yeah, we don't want to spend too much of the night partying. Parents wouldn't be that
I
pleased,
have some stuff
assume.
to get back to.
Oh, come on.
No, they would not be.
Surely you can leave the numbers for one night, right?
Well, I'm leaving them right now.
Live a little. For like what? Like an hour? Give me a break. Live a little. Come on.
For
We
an
can
hour.
go. We can go
It's plenty of
riding.
time.
You need
You
better
wanna go-
assistance. If you can't trust them to do their job properly, so you have to constantly be double checking them, you need to get better assistance.
Oh. Okay, well maybe I just like doing it, you know? I just...
You need better hobbies, is what you need.
Good hobbies.
Name one.
Well, you know, we do horseback riding sometimes, right?
I do horseback riding and I drag you along. I don't think that counts. Do you ever do it
does-
without me?
Really fun to do something alone by yourself.
To be fair, I don't do it
No.
without you either, so I don't know how much that counts.
I was going to, yeah.
Okay,
ask if you...
Still, you never ask to do it on your own. You know, it's always me saying, let's go horseback riding when I'm too
Well,
bored hanging out in your office to stand it for another second. You know, you could take some initiative on fun stuff.
okay. How am I supposed to just like decide randomly while I'm working? Oh, I'm gonna do fun stuff now.
Well,
How
you
does-
know, like a normal person would get bored and be like, I want to do fun stuff.
I'm plenty normal.
You can always make a schedule.
Oh, yeah, that's what we need. More paperwork.
I do have a schedule.
She does have a
I have a
schedule.
pretty laid out schedule.
I don't want to talk about the
Yeah.
schedule. The schedule, my detested.
Sorry.
Is it
Like,
fun
you
if
about
like
it, like,
every
I
single
clearly-
movement is scheduled? Like that point is just another obligation, you know. You gotta live a little. Be what's the word for it? Impulsive. You know,
Spontaneous.
Oh.
spontaneous.
I mean,
Thank
I
you.
scheduled
Tom.
partially of my day, so.
Well, being spontaneous sucks. I
What do
think.
you mean?
I'd
just,
like
like, order
to
in
know
your
what's
life.
next on my the thing. I'd like to know. Oh, in 20 minutes I'm doing this. In an hour I'm over here. I don't. Not knowing what's happening is not fun.
But that's what the adventure is, you know. you
I
just
mean,
unexpected stuff and like just deciding that okay, it's enough. You know, like what if you start doing something and then you don't want to be doing it anymore, but you still like in the schedule you still have it for another hour, you know? You should be able to just decide,
then I
okay, fuck
keep doing
this.
it.
No! What's the point of doing something you don't want to be doing?
Well, consistency?
What's the point of that? Anyway, not to well, let us not drag the
Beneficial.
family.
You're right. I'm not in front of them.
Lilith, you've been silent for so long. We don't even know what you do for a living.
Mainly it's all logistics for lumber company. A lot of
What?
doing bookwork.
Ooh.
She said the L World Watcher.
Not as muscly as my brothers. So I just do a brainy work. I enjoy it. Bit boring, but I'd rather that than chopping down trees.
See, even she thinks logistics are boring.
It's not meant to be entertaining.
Then why do you want to do it if it's not entertaining? Okay, no, we're not doing this. We're not getting into it. Maybe I've drank too much. Ugh. Bring me some water, why won't you?
We normally have Mara on staff, don't we?
Yeah, but I didn't want to, like, get more of them, because then, you know, like, they need to be scheduled. Everything needs to be fucking scheduled, and there's the party tomorrow, then we need a lot of staff, and, you know, it's like a couple of people. How many maids do you need for 10 people? And it's... Be careful. I mean, that's why the parents didn't put her on the tomorrow party thing, the roster.
Maybe a new hire? She seems quite young.
I don't know. I'm sure she'll learn. Anyway. It does seem the conversation's waning a bit. Perhaps our guests are tired. Maybe time to close it off. What would you say?
I'm
Enough
pretty full
partying for
from
today?
the roast beef.
Could use the extra training done, so I wouldn't mind.
Certainly. Well, Chomp, feel free to load yourself up and we'll talk after I escort the rest of the guests.
Alright.
Give me a second.
Hope to see you around the city one day.
I'll be by one of the inns. I'll be here for about another week, so you have time.
Alright.
See you around then.
See you around.
Well, come and let us go. Lilith? You can also take the night off. Sure.
Thank you, Master.
Once again, Miss Suvis, thank you for the invitation. It was a wonderful night.
Of course.
Thank you for it.
I hope to see more of your accomplishments out in the wild. And I hope you find who you're looking for.
As do I. And if you ever need any assistance of mine, all you gotta do is call my name.
I will call upon you, Sir Jade. Good
Thank
night.
you, sir. Have a wonderful night.
You too. Well then, Chomp. Why don't you come with us?
Okay.
Oh. Good. This should be quite a nice place. Now,
Yeah.
Miss Chomp,
Yeah?
you're not gonna be afraid of anything now, okay? You're
Okay.
not gonna be afraid. You're being hypnotized. Give me your hand. Lucinda, would you like?
Yeah.
You brought her to us. Said she smelled
did.
quite nice.
I thought quite
Your
a
other hand,
specimen,
please.
isn't she?
Turns it up. Yep. Wrist up. Well, no, don't scream. Perfect.
I told you.
Don't worry. You'll be quite taken care of. You won't have to worry about your father anymore.